Hi, I'm Penny with CEPHER Publishing Group. Most of you are already familiar with the Eth Cepheriym, CEPHER, however you want to pronounce this. So this is a comprehensive restoration of sacred scripture in the English language. And I'll put a link in the description box if you're not already familiar with the book. The purpose of this video is to introduce you to the Eth Cepheriym Collection. So Cepheriym is the plural for Sepher or Sefer, so it means the books. So we are going to be publishing an entire collection of Eth Cepheriym that will be complementary books to the Eth Cepheriym. So starting with this one. Now some of these books we have previously published in softcover, and we're in the process of switching everything over to hardcover because we want this to be a beautiful resource library for individuals or fellowships, churches, that type of thing. So we started with the lexicon of names and places because there are over 3,100 transliterated names and places in the CEPHER, and our customers were begging for this book. Took us over a year to put it together. And the nice thing about this book is you can look words up one of two ways, either from the Hebrew word to the English word, or vice versa, English to Hebrew. So I'm going to give you an example. Say you're reading along in the text and you come to the word Mitzrayim, and you don't know what that means. Well, you can look it up in the lexicon, and it will give you the definition. It'll tell you it's Egypt, and it'll give you the pronunciation in Hebrew and all of that. So, or say, for example, you're wondering, I wonder how you say Egypt in Hebrew. Well, then you would look up the word Egypt in the English to Hebrew part of the book, and find out that it's Mitzrayim. So while we're on the subject of the lexicon, we have an app for mobile devices, and one of the things that I love about the app is, in addition to this lightning fast search feature, which kind of doubles as a concordance, and I use it all the time for cross-referencing when I'm studying, all of the transliterated names and places are clickable. So I'm going to give you an example. So in Genesis 26, when it says in verse 2, and Yahuwah appeared unto him and said, Go not down into Mitzrayim, dwell in the land which I shall tell you of. Well, I'm going to click on the word Mitzrayim, and I'm going to show you what happens. So there you go. So you can see it brings the word up, shows you how to spell it, how to pronounce it, excuse me. And anyways, just click OK. But the nice thing too about the search feature is I typed in the word Egypt, and it brought up all the places in Scripture where that word appears. And then you can just scroll through and click on them. So anyway, a little plug for the app there. So that's the lexicon. The next book I wanted to tell you about is called Yom Qodesh. So this means holy days, and it's a Hebraic calendar. So it not only, I'm going to show you a screenshot first so you can see how it's presented. So you can see that it's got all of the Hebrew dates, but then below that you can see what that Hebrew date falls on in the Gregorian calendar, and it goes all the way through 2020. It shows you when all the Shabbats are, and it shows you when all of the feasts of Yahuwah are, the Moedim, and it also gives you the address of the verses for the weekly Torah portions, which includes the Haftarah from the prophets and the Besorah from the Gospels. So this is a great calendar resource book that is a great companion to the Eth Cepheriym. But the newest book that we have just published is called Parshat. So the Torah portion is a reading, and that if you put them all together, the plural of that is Parshat. So the nice thing about this book is it's perpetual. So there's no dates on this one. I'm going to show you a screenshot of the first page of the table of contents. So the beauty of the Parshat book is that the weekly Torah portion, which includes, a reading from the first 5 books of Moshe or Moses, as well as a reading from the Haftarah, which is the prophets. So that would be Ezekiel, Jeremiah, Isaiah, some of the minor prophets, as well as a portion from the Besorah, which would be Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And that is, I think we're the only ones that are actually publishing a book that includes the portion from the Besserah. So the beauty of this book is it is perpetual, so it's never going to go out of date. And I like the idea that rather than having to look up in my CEPHER the portions from each week, I can actually just pick this book up, read through the portion for that week, bookmark it, pick it up the next week, and read through it that way. So I also wanted to let you know, speaking of weekly Torah portions, we do offer that available on our website every week, and you can subscribe and get that in your email as a kind of like a blog. And you can also link to it from the app. So these first 3 books of the Eth Cepheriym Collection are in essence reference books, but we're going to be publishing a lot of different books. For example, in addition to the ones that we've been publishing in softcover, like the Sitri Torah and the Hokmah Talmudim, which we hope to have those available in hardcover very soon, we're going to be publishing a new book called Bereshit. So that's the Hebrew word for beginnings, and will include, in addition to Genesis and Jubilees, it'll have the testimony of the 12 patriarchs, the sons of Jacob, the apocalypse of Moses, the apocalypse of Abraham, the books of Adam and Eve. So I've been reading through the proof copy of that book, and I'm really excited to be able to share that with all of you. Now, we're not suggesting that all of these books are inspired or sacred writings. We are suggesting that the serious student of Scripture should take a look at them and ask the Ruach, the Spirit, to guide you into all truth. We're going to be publishing the works of Josephus, the books of Enoch, Hanok, and many others. So this is going to end up being quite a comprehensive collection for the serious student of Scripture. So we'll keep you informed as each new book comes out, and until then, shalom.